Hello and welcome to a Uniqli series all about e-commerce competitors and how you should tackle them, which angle you should compete with them on, and how to overtake your competitors. Let's get started. Right, number one, you should always find out who your competitors are and who you're competing against. Now, very broadly, you probably have three different types of competitors. You have ones which are much smaller than you. They have a smaller product range, perhaps more targeted to a specific range, just generally much smaller as a type of business. There's people that are the same size, so very, very similar in terms of size of business, very, very similar in terms of the range of products and also the targeting of the consumer. And then also you have the large competitors. So for example, Amazon, Etsy, you might have Wayfair in there, you might have a few others online competitors. In the food market, you might have like Morrison's, Asda, Marks and Spencer, and a few others that are much, much bigger. Now, to tackle all three of these is almost a bit impossible. So what I'd recommend is find out which competitors are the same as you, so you can then dial that down and find out which ones inside that bracket you can then compete that may be slightly bigger than you or slightly smaller to compete with them online. So, how do you find out how they fall into each of these brackets? Well, from a keyword point of view and from an SEO online point of view, you can find out your competitors using your domain rating, the number of keywords, and the general SEO of their website. And you can do this by finding out the keywords, finding out who else is ranking for those keywords. But also look at products, the price point they're selling at, and also the service they offer, and of course their social interaction and the advertising around that as well. Now actually I do have a quick template on this. If you have a look in the description below, I'll drop a quick template to basically guide you through how to audit all of these at once and find out your top competitors. Nice and simple. So let's move on to chapter 2. Now we've found out your competitors, let's find out how or why you're competing with those competitors. What are you competing with them on? Are you competing with them on SEO? Are they struggling to rank against those people? Are they better than you at ranking for specific keywords or certain products? Do they have a better product range, or do they have a better price? Do they have better service? Now all of these points you can then say which items are specific competitors actually competing on, and which ones are we trying to overtake them with, because we can't overtake them for every area. We might have a more expensive product which is better quality, or we might have maybe a lower quality product but you've got a better price on it, so therefore you're competing on price, not on service. So define what is winning against the competitors for you and then tackle that one thing. Now, as I said, if you fill in the actual worksheet using the link in the description below, grab that worksheet, you can actually fill that in and find out which one of these you're competing with your competitors, and then you'll have an understanding of, you can literally just highlight the boxes which ones you want to set as a goal. And this is my main tip for this area, is when you're competing with a specific customer or specific set of competitors, then make sure you set a goal as to what you're competing with them on, because you can't compete with them on everything. With that, let's find out what we can do to actually spy on our competitors and leverage what they're doing to help us. Now, let's say we've defined, using the previous steps in our competitor analysis, that we understand that 2 or 3 of our competitors are actually doing much better than us with SEO. Now, how do we then compete with that? How do we find out what we need to do to actually beat them in that particular area? Now, this may also apply to like social advertising, it might apply to different products you sell. You have to analyze what they're doing which is better than you, and then say, how are we going to achieve that? How are we going to overtake them in this specific area? So for example, let's say you've got the SERP, which is the search engine results page for like Google. You'll actually have, let's say you're in position 4 and you want to overtake 2 competitors and achieve position 1. Now, not all of those competitors are going to be all the same size as you. So for example, in position 1 you might have Amazon, who is a large competitor. As we discussed earlier, you've got 3 different types of competitors. You don't really want to be competing with these top large competitors like Amazon and Etsy and all these other bigger companies. You want to be able to overtake them and slip into a spot where your competitors, which are the same size as you, more relevant, are already there. So you basically want to replace people that are the same size as you in the search engine. So to be able to do that, you then define what that competitor is achieving. Has it got more backlinks? Has it got more content? Has it got more keywords? Has it got more supporting pages? Has it got more general authority on the site? You find out those things and then you say, right, we need to work ahead and try and achieve that. And so it's a very analytical approach, and you can actually define exactly what you need. And by the way, I'm willing to discuss this with you. If you think SEO is something that you're struggling to achieve, then let me know. I can do this analysis on specific keywords. I can even do it on specific categories or pages. and find out what you need to be doing to get to those top positions in Google. Now, looking at that, you can then define how will this make a difference, and you can set a goal. So if I overtake this competitor, this will make a difference in sales because of X, Y, and Z. And that's really, really valuable because you can then build a business case for making that improvement, for overtaking that competitor. And that brings me to my last point on competitors. Capitalize on your competitors' weaknesses, but also double down on their strengths. Now this is displayed here. So you've got the positives of all your competitors and you've got the negatives of all your competitors. But what you want to do is you want to take the positives and replicate what they're doing. And then you want to take the negatives and do better than them. And that's going to double down and really get a better edge on your competitors in every area. But if you choose specific areas, you'll win using that strategy. Well, I hope that was insightful. And I look forward to speaking to you on further episodes. And if you've got any ideas for future episodes, let me know in the comments below. And I look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you.